Aging is an inevitable journey, a slow drifting of the body into weariness and of the mind into stillness. Behind the silver hair, the gentle smiles, and the wise eyes, however, lie hidden truths, things not often talked about. These are the ugly habits that some seniors develop, things that people rarely mention out loud. 1. They become harsh and judgmental. As people age, their life experience can sometimes make them feel like they've seen it all, leading to a tendency to judge others harshly, especially the younger generation. Their choices, fashion, or modern lifestyles. Why does this happen? Judgment often comes from a fear of being left behind, that the world is moving too fast, and they can't keep up. The result? Young people start to distance themselves, families avoid deep conversations, and the elderly grow more isolated. 2. They repeat the same stories over and over. One of the most common complaints about seniors is how they tell the same story again and again. Why does this happen? It's not just memory loss. Sometimes the past is the only place where they still feel valued or relevant. Telling stories is their way of being heard, remembered, and acknowledged. What can you do? Don't interrupt. Ask questions. Listen with interest like you would to a childhood bedtime story. 3. They try to control others' lives. Many seniors develop a habit of interfering in family matters, how children are raised, how money is spent, even personal relationships. Why does this happen? It stems from a fear of losing relevance or authority. Without work or responsibilities, they often try to hold on to influence wherever they can. But this behavior is damaging because it suffocates the freedom of others and creates family tension. 4. They become easily irritated and impatient. Some seniors become quick-tempered, snapping over small things like a late meal, misplaced remote control, or background noise. Why? The aging nervous system becomes more sensitive. Combined with a sense of helplessness, small disruptions feel overwhelming. The result? Tension fills the home. Younger family members feel anxious or resentful while the elderly feel misunderstood. 5. They exaggerate illness to get attention. Some elderly people tend to dramatize their pain or illnesses, not necessarily to deceive, but as a way of seeking care and attention. You may hear them say, "I won't make it through the week," only to see them active the next day. It's their way of saying, "Please don't forget me." Understanding this can replace frustration with compassion. 6. They resist change and reject the new technology, fashion, modern culture. All become targets of criticism for many seniors. They'll say things like, "In my day, we didn't need phones." Online learning? What nonsense. Why? because change is scary. They fear what they don't understand, and they feel lost in a world that's no longer theirs. What do they need? Patience. Someone to teach them, guide them, and make them feel included again. 7. They hold grudges for years aging. Minds often hold on to past wounds, conflicts with siblings, disappointments with children, old neighbor quarrels, and refuse to let go. Sometimes they remember the anger but forget the cause, and the bitterness grows. The outcome? They become emotionally distant, missing out on peace in their final years. 8. They become unconsciously selfish. Some seniors demand attention or help at inconvenient times without thinking about others' schedules or emotions. Why? Because they feel they've sacrificed all their life, and now they deserve to be taken care of. But real love isn't transactional. It flows forward, not backward. 9. They refuse to learn anything new. You'll hear, "I'm too old to learn. I'll never understand young people today." This self-limiting attitude builds a wall between generations, blocking joy, connection, and new experiences. When they close the door to learning, they also close the door to growing. 10. They act like the world should revolve around them. Some elderly people insist everything should cater to their needs: meals, noise levels, plans, conversations. Why? Because deep down they fear they've become irrelevant. But in trying to feel important, they unintentionally alienate the very people they love. 11. They secretly compare their family to others. A passive-aggressive remark like, "Your cousin just bought a house. Did you hear that so-and-so's daughter got into a prestigious school?" Comparisons are dangerous. They may come from love, but they feel like pressure. These words often mask disappointment and unfulfilled hopes, leaving wounds that linger. 12. They fear death, but never say it. This might be the ugliest and most heartbreaking truth. Many seniors are terrified of death, of being forgotten, of leaving no legacy. But they hide that fear behind anger, silence, or stubbornness. What they truly need is a hug, a hand to hold, and someone brave enough to ask, "What are you afraid of most?" And then just listen. Conclusion. Old age is not just about aching joints and fading eyesight. It's a quiet struggle of the soul, one that can manifest in unpleasant ways. But beneath every ugly behavior is a longing to be heard, to be loved, to matter again. So, before you judge, pause. Look deeper. They once held your hand with trembling patience. Now it's your turn to hold theirs with understanding.